Greetings, my friends. Today I want to share with you a story of a young girl's bravery, a mother's love, and the unbreakable bond between the two. Enjoy the story. Anna Matthews sat on the plush leather couch in her family's expansive living room, her eyes fixed on the glossy pages of her favorite teen magazine. But the latest celebrity gossip couldn't hold her attention today. Instead, the 12-year-old's gaze kept darting to the hallway, where her soon-to-be stepfather, Arthur, was pacing back and forth, his voice low and hushed as he spoke on his cell phone. "Oh, come on, baby," Arthur cooed, a sly grin spreading across his face. "You know I can't wait to see you again. Sarah's out running errands, so we've got plenty of time to talk." Anna's stomach churned. Sarah was her mother, the woman Arthur was supposed to be marrying in just a few short weeks. So who was this baby he was talking to? As Arthur's conversation continued, peppered with flirtatious laughter and promises Anna knew he had no intention of keeping with her mother, she felt a familiar anger bubbling up inside her. Ever since Arthur had entered their lives 2 years ago, things had changed. Her once vibrant mother had become a shadow of herself, constantly trying to please Arthur and make everything perfect for their upcoming wedding. Anna missed the days when it was just her and her mom, curled up on the couch watching cheesy rom-coms and eating ice cream straight from the carton. Now, their spacious home felt more like a museum, everything polished and perfect, but cold and untouchable. As Arthur's voice grew fainter, disappearing into his home office, Anna made a split-second decision. She needed to talk to someone who would understand, someone who wouldn't dismiss her concerns as the overactive imagination of a preteen. She needed Peter. Slipping on her well-worn sneakers, Anna crept towards the front door. "I'm going for a bike ride," she called out, knowing Arthur was too engrossed in his phone call to care. Without waiting for a response, she darted out into the warm summer air. Anna pedaled furiously, her long brown hair streaming behind her as she left behind the manicured lawns and McMansions of her neighborhood. The farther she rode, the more the scenery changed. Perfectly pruned hedges gave way to overgrown bushes, and shiny SUVs were replaced by cars that had seen better days. Finally, Anna reached her destination, a run-down apartment complex on the edge of town, hidden from view by a thick cluster of trees. This was Peter's world, so different from her own, yet the only place where Anna truly felt she could be herself. Standing beneath Peter's second-floor window, Anna let out a sharp whistle, their secret signal. A moment later, a mop of unruly black hair appeared, followed by the grinning face of her 14-year-old friend. "Hey, Trouble," Peter called down, his dark eyes twinkling with mischief. "Coming up?" With practiced ease, Anna scrambled up the fire escape and through Peter's window, landing with a soft thud on the worn carpet of his bedroom. "What's wrong?" Peter asked immediately, noticing the worry lines creasing Anna's forehead. "Is it Arthur again?" Anna nodded, sinking onto Peter's bed. "I overheard him on the phone with some woman. He was calling her baby and talking about how they'd have time alone while my mom was out." Peter's face darkened. "That sleazeball. Have you told your mom?" Anna shook her head, tears pricking at the corners of her eyes. "She won't listen to me, Pete. Every time I try to say something bad about Arthur, she gets all defensive and says I'm just having trouble adjusting to the changes." Peter sat down next to her, bumping her shoulder gently with his own. "That sucks, Anna Banana, but you've got to keep trying. Your mom deserves to know the truth before she marries this jerk." Anna nodded, drawing strength from her friend's unwavering support. "You're right. I'll try talking to her again tonight. Thanks, Pete." As Anna prepared to leave, Peter caught her arm. "Hey, if things get tough at home, you know you can always come here, right? Mi casa es su casa and all that?" Anna smiled, feeling lighter than she had in weeks. "I know. You're the best, Pete." As she climbed back out the window, Anna couldn't help but marvel at the differences between her world and Peter's. Her house may have been bigger and fancier, but there was a warmth here, in this tiny cluttered apartment, that had been missing from her own home ever since Arthur arrived. With renewed determination, Anna pedaled home, ready to confront her mother with the truth about her fiancé. Little did she know, the evening ahead would bring more heartache than she could have imagined. Anna returned home to find the house eerily quiet, Peering into the kitchen, she saw her mother, Sarah, methodically chopping vegetables for dinner. The rhythmic thud of the knife against the cutting board was the only sound in the otherwise silent room. "Hey, Mom," Anna said cautiously, sliding onto a bar stool at the kitchen island. "Need any help?" Sarah looked up, a fleeting smile crossing her face before the worry lines returned. "Oh, hi, sweetie. No, I've got it under control. Arthur's heading out for the evening bachelor party planning with the guys, so I thought we could have a girls' night. How does homemade pizza sound?" Anna's heart leapt at the prospect of spending time alone with her mom, just like old times. "That sounds great. Can I help with the dough?" As they worked side by side, kneading the dough and chatting about Anna's upcoming school year, she almost forgot about the gnawing worry in her stomach. But then Arthur sauntered into the kitchen, and the bubble of happiness burst. "Hey, babe," he said, planting a kiss on Sarah's cheek. "I'm heading out. Can I borrow some cash? I forgot to hit the ATM." Sarah's smile faltered for just a moment before she reached for her purse. "Of course, honey. How much do you need?" "A couple hundred should do it," Arthur replied smoothly, pocketing the bills Sarah handed him without a word of thanks. As he turned to leave, Arthur ruffled Anna's hair, a gesture that made her skin crawl. "Don't wait up, ladies. It might be a late one." The moment the front door closed behind him, Anna couldn't hold back any longer. "Mom, we need to talk about Arthur." Sarah's back stiffened as she turned to face her daughter. "Anna, please, not this again." "But Mom, you don't understand. I heard him on the phone today, talking to some other woman. He called her baby and—" "Enough!" Sarah's voice cracked like a whip, making Anna flinch. "I don't want to hear another word about this, Anna. Arthur loves us. He's going to be your stepfather, and I won't have you making up stories to try and ruin our happiness. Do you understand me?" Tears welled up in Anna's eyes. "But Mom, I'm not making it up. Why won't you believe me?" Sarah's face softened for a moment, but then the walls came back up. "Go to your room, Anna. I think we both need some time to cool off." As Anna fled up the stairs, her vision blurred by tears, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was losing her mother to a man who didn't deserve her. Collapsing onto her bed, Anna buried her face in her pillow and let the sobs come. Hours later, she was jolted awake by the sound of raised voices. Creeping to her bedroom door, Anna pressed her ear against the cool wood, straining to hear. "Where have you been?" Sarah's voice was tight with anger and worry. "It's 3 a.m., Arthur." "Relax, babe," Arthur slurred, his words running together. "Just lost track of time with the boys. No big deal." "No big deal? You reek of perfume, Arthur, and it's not mine." There was a long pause, followed by the sound of stumbling footsteps. "Don't be ridiculous, Sarah. You're imagining things. I'm going to bed." Anna's heart raced. This was her chance. Surely now her mother would see Arthur for who he really was. But as she heard her mother's defeated sigh and the soft click of their bedroom door, she realized with a sinking feeling that nothing had changed. Sarah was still blind to Arthur's true nature, and Anna was more alone than ever. The next day, Anna found herself once again perched on the rickety fire escape outside Peter's window, pouring out the events of the previous night. "I don't know what to do, Pete," she finished, wiping away a stray tear. "Mom won't listen to me, and the wedding is in less than a week. I can't let her marry that jerk." Peter's brow furrowed in concentration. "We need proof," he said finally. "Something your mom can't ignore or explain away." Anna's eyes widened. "Like what?" A mischievous grin spread across Peter's face. "What if we caught Arthur red-handed? On video?" As Peter outlined his plan, Anna felt a mixture of excitement and fear bubbling up inside her. It was risky, no doubt about it. If they got caught, she'd be in more trouble than she'd ever been in her life. But the alternative, watching her mother marry a lying, cheating scumbag, was unthinkable. "Okay," Anna said, her voice steadier than she felt. "Let's do it." The next few days passed in a blur of wedding preparations and covert operations. While Sarah was distracted by flower arrangements and seating charts, Anna and Peter put their plan into motion. Using a tiny camera Peter had borrowed from his older brother, they managed to capture footage of Arthur's late-night phone calls and secret meetings. But their big break came just 2 days before the wedding, when they followed Arthur to a seedy motel on the outskirts of town. Hidden behind a dumpster in the parking lot, Anna felt her stomach lurch as she watched Arthur embrace a scantily clad woman who was definitely not her mother. "Got it," Peter whispered triumphantly, holding up the camera. "This is the smoking gun, Anna. Your mom can't ignore this." But as they biked home, the reality of what they were about to do hit Anna full force. This wasn't just about exposing Arthur anymore. She was about to shatter her mother's world, to humiliate her in front of all their friends and family at what was supposed to be the happiest day of her life. "Pete," Anna said, her voice small, "are we doing the right thing?" Peter stopped his bike, turning to face her with an uncharacteristically serious expression. "Anna, think about it. If we don't do this now, your mom could be stuck with this loser for years. She might have kids with him. How much worse would it be to find out the truth then?" Anna nodded, squaring her shoulders. "You're right. We have to do this. For Mom." As they parted ways, Anna couldn't shake the feeling that her life was about to change forever. For better or worse, the truth would come out at the wedding. All she could do now was hope that her mother would forgive her for being the messenger. The big day arrived in a flurry of white tulle and nervous energy. Anna stood in front of the full-length mirror in the bridal suite, barely recognizing the girl staring back at her. Her usually unruly brown hair had been tamed into soft curls, and the pale pink bridesmaid dress made her look older than her 12 years. But it was the haunted look in her eyes that truly made her seem like a stranger to herself. "Oh, honey, you look beautiful," Sarah gushed, appearing behind Anna in the mirror. Her mother was radiant in her wedding gown, her face glowing with happiness. For a moment, Anna's resolve wavered. How could she destroy this moment for her mom? But then she remembered the footage hidden in her small purse, and her determination returned. This wasn't about ruining a wedding. It was about saving her mother from a lifetime of lies and heartbreak. "Thanks, Mom," Anna managed, forcing a smile. "You look amazing." As they made their way to the grand ballroom of the Ritz-Carlton, where the ceremony and reception were being held, Anna's heart raced. She'd convinced the wedding planner to let her give a speech during the reception, claiming it was a surprise for her mom. Little did anyone know just how surprising it would be. The ceremony passed in a blur. Anna barely registered the vows being exchanged. Her mind focused solely on what was to come. As Arthur leaned in to kiss the bride, sealing their union, Anna felt a tear slip down her cheek. But it wasn't a tear of joy. It was mourning for the life she and her mom had lost the day Arthur entered their lives. The reception was in full swing, the dance floor packed with tipsy guests attempting to do the Macarena, when the DJ's voice cut through the noise. And now, a special surprise from the bride's daughter, Anna. A hush fell over the crowd as Anna made her way to the small stage. Her palms were sweating as she gripped the microphone, scanning the sea of faces until she found her mother's encouraging smile. Hi everyone," Anna began, her voice shaky. I wanted to say a few words about my mom and Arthur." She took a deep breath, steeling herself for what was to come. "Mom, you've always taught me that honesty is the most important thing in any relationship. That's why I can't stand here and pretend to be happy about this marriage when I know the truth." A confused murmur rippled through the crowd. Sarah's smile faltered, while Arthur's face darkened with anger. "Anna," he hissed, loud enough for the microphone to pick up. "That's enough. Sit down." But Anna pressed on, her voice growing stronger. "I have proof that Arthur has been cheating on my mom, and I think everyone here deserves to see it." Before anyone could stop her, Anna nodded to Peter, who had snuck in and was waiting by the AV equipment. The lights dimmed, and suddenly the incriminating footage was playing on the large screen behind Anna. Gasps and shocked exclamations filled the room, as image after image of Arthur's infidelity flashed across the screen. The final blow was the video from the motel, leaving no doubt as to Arthur's guilt. "Anna!" Sarah's anguished cry cut through the chaos. "How could you do this?" But Anna's eyes were fixed on Arthur, who had turned an alarming shade of purple. "You little brat!" he snarled, lunging towards the stage. What happened next would be talked about in their small town for years to come. Arthur, in his rage, tripped over his own feet and face-planted directly into the towering wedding cake. As he flailed, covered in frosting and red-faced with humiliation, the entire room erupted into pandemonium. Amid the shouting and confusion, Anna slipped away, her heart pounding. She'd done it. She'd exposed Arthur for the lying cheat he was. But at what cost? As she burst out of the hotel's front doors, gulping in the cool night air, Anna caught sight of a familiar figure leaning against a nearby tree. "You okay, Trouble?" Peter asked, concern etched on his face. Anna shook her head, tears finally spilling over. "I don't know, Pete. I think I just ruined everything." Without a word, Peter pulled her into a hug. "Come on," he said gently. "I know a place we can go." Peter led Anna to a secluded spot by the river, a place they'd discovered on one of their many adventures together. As they sat on the grassy bank, watching the moonlight ripple on the water's surface, Anna finally let out all the emotions she'd been holding back. "I just wanted to protect her," she sobbed, her words muffled against Peter's shoulder. "But what if she hates me now? What if I've ruined everything?" Peter stroked her hair gently, a gesture so uncharacteristically tender that it made Anna cry even harder. "You did the right thing, Anna Banana. Your mom might be hurt and angry right now, but she needed to know the truth. You're the bravest person I know." As Anna's sobs subsided into hiccups, they heard the sound of approaching footsteps. Looking up, Anna's heart leapt into her throat at the sight of her mother, still in her wedding dress, mascara streaking down her cheeks. "Mom," Anna whispered, scrambling to her feet. "I'm so sorry, But before she could finish, Sarah had crossed the distance between them and enveloped Anna in a fierce hug. "Oh, sweetheart," she murmured, her voice thick with emotion. "I'm the one who should be sorry. I should have listened to you. I should have seen what was right in front of me." Anna clung to her mother, relief washing over her in waves. "You're not mad at me?" Sarah pulled back, cupping Anna's face in her hands. "Mad? No, honey, I'm grateful. You saved me from making the biggest mistake of my life. I was so caught up in the idea of having a perfect family that I couldn't see how perfect we already were, just the two of us." As they embraced again, Sarah noticed Peter hovering awkwardly nearby. "And who's this young man?" she asked, her eyebrow raised in a way that made Anna blush. "This is Peter, Mom. He's my best friend. He helped me with everything." Sarah extended her hand to Peter, who shook it with surprising formality. "Thank you, Peter, for being there for my daughter when I couldn't be. I owe you a debt of gratitude." Peter shuffled his feet, clearly uncomfortable with the praise. "It was nothing, Mrs. Matthews. Anna's pretty great. She'd do the same for me." As the three of them sat by the river, Sarah asked Peter about himself, her eyes widening as she learned about his living situation and family struggles. Anna watched in amazement as her mother's nurturing instincts, which had been suppressed during her relationship with Arthur, came flooding back. "Peter, how would you and your family like to join us for dinner tomorrow night?" Sarah asked suddenly. "I think we could all use a fresh start, don't you?" Peter's eyes lit up at the prospect of a home-cooked meal. "That would be awesome, Mrs. Matthews. Thank you." As they made plans for the following evening, Anna felt a warmth spreading through her chest. This was how things were supposed to be. Her mom smiling and relaxed, making connections with the people Anna cared about. "You know," Sarah said thoughtfully, "we should make this a real celebration. Anna, what if we invited some of your other friends too? We could call it, I don't know, Cat Day or something silly like that." Anna laughed, remembering the inside joke she and Peter had about cats being secret overlords. "Cat Day sounds perfect, Mom. But why the sudden party?" Sarah's eyes grew misty as she looked at her daughter. "Because, sweetheart, I think it's time we started celebrating the things that really matter, like bravery and honesty, and the kind of love that doesn't need a big fancy wedding to prove itself." As they walked home together, Anna sandwiched between her mom and her best friend, she felt lighter than she had in years. The future, which had seemed so bleak just hours ago, now sparkled with possibility. The Cat Day celebration turned out to be the start of a beautiful new tradition for the Matthews household. Sarah, freed from the constraints of her relationship with Arthur, blossomed into the warm, vivacious woman Anna remembered from her childhood. Their home, once a showpiece designed to impress Arthur's high society friends, became a hub of laughter and warmth. Peter and his family became regular fixtures at the Matthews dinner table, and Sarah took it upon herself to help Peter's struggling single mom find better employment. The two women formed a fast friendship, united by their shared experiences and the love for their children. As for Anna, the ordeal of exposing Arthur had given her a new sense of confidence. She joined the school newspaper, channeling her investigative skills into uncovering cafeteria mysteries and exposing unfair dress code policies. And if she and Peter started spending more time together, hands brushing accidentally as they walked home from school, well, that was a story for another day. One evening, as Anna helped her mom prepare dinner for their now weekly family gathering, Sarah paused in her chopping to look at her daughter. "You know, Anna," she said softly, "I never thanked you properly for what you did at the wedding." Anna shrugged, embarrassed. "Mom, you don't have to—" "No, I do," Sarah insisted. "What you did took incredible courage. You risked everything, my anger, your comfort, our relationship, to do what you knew was right. I couldn't be prouder of the young woman you're becoming." Blinking back tears, Anna hugged her mother tightly. "I love you, Mom. I'm just glad we're okay." Sarah kissed the top of her daughter's head. "We're more than okay, sweetheart. We're exactly where we're supposed to be." As the doorbell rang, signaling the arrival of their guests, Anna couldn't help but smile. Her mother was right. This, the laughter, the love, the sense of belonging, this was what a real happily ever after looked like. And as she went to greet Peter and his family, Anna knew that whatever challenges life might throw their way, they would face them together, just as it should be.